As far as, I mean, real estate rentals, hey, Nathan, not too much, just doing the group chat. Welcome, Pratsua. Um, you know, rentals, there's really no way to necessarily prevent somebody from destroying your rental or your house, but what you can do is you can cherry pick your tenants. I'm sure you've heard that term before, or haven't you?
I think I have.
Yeah, cherry picking your tenants is just basically screening them really, 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 really well. There's some landlords out there that will just let, welcome, James. There's some landlords out there that'll just let everybody rent their houses, and you really can't do that. If you let every single person that comes your way that says, hey, I got a job and I got money, and you just let them rent your apartments, you're going to have a lot of problems. Like me personally, I try and put my rentals up for like a week before I rent them out. I try and interview as many qualified people. And then what I do is I kind of go through like a process of elimination. So basically, if I got like 10 applicants, right, I'll go through each one of their files, each one of their background checks, check their credit. And then the ones that are most qualified, I will then kind of get rid of all the other ones that are just an absolute no-go, and I will call back the three best ones and let them know that I'm interested in renting to them. And then from there, I'll kind of ask them, well, I'd probably like to rent to you. How soon would you like to move in? And then out of those three, depending on who's kind of the most eager to get in, and then also based obviously on their job and credit and their past background record, that's who I end up renting to. And, I just try and basically rent things out as fast as possible to the most qualified candidate. It's almost like being an employer and interviewing people for a job, except for in my opinion, you kind of have to, you got to actually do a little more thorough check than even like an employer does when it comes to an interview. Because if you don't check people out thoroughly when it comes to rentals, they can just trash your place. I mean, they can trash a place fast. If somebody has a dog, like let's say example, like in my rentals, I don't allow anybody to have pets unless they pay an extra monthly security deposit. Welcome, Trenthony. Like example, like the rental that I got in Chippewa, which is where I used to live, by the way. That's where my home office started. That's where everything started back in the day. That house is all completely remodeled and everything. It's got brand new laminate flooring and then brand new carpet in all the rooms. Well, she's got a cat. Now, the renter I got at this Chippewa house, she's pretty nice. She's a younger lady. She worked at a bank, so seemed pretty professional, didn't have a bad background record, good credit, but she had a cat. And so I said $30 extra a month for the pet deposit, basically. Like if the cat, let's say 3 months in, it pees and it ruins the carpet. Well, I know I can get one room's carpet replaced for like 150 bucks. So as long as she rents for 3 to 4 months, that'll kind of take care of the carpet expense. But you just basically got to watch who you're renting to. Want to make sure that they're not smokers. Like I won't rent to smokers. I had a tenant come into my Chippewa house where basically the mom walked in and she had like good work history. She had worked at the same place for 3 years, and she walks in there and she's got an 18-year-old son that was going to rent the place too with her. He walks in, this guy's got like a pack of cigarettes in his shirt pocket and like a cigarette in his ear, and I'm just like, you think you're going to rent this place? Like this isn't it. This isn't the ghetto. And you know what? I had him fill out an application because I'm not going to discriminate, and I charge $30 for each application. That also gets rid of the people that aren't serious. And yeah, obviously they didn't get a call back, but it's just like, you got to be open to everybody. But the one thing you can do is most landlords around here, they charge an application fee. So that kind of actually becomes nice, because if you got a rental, let's say you got a lot of rentals, if you charge $30 per application and like each hour you book like a walkthrough of the apartment like every 15 minutes, I mean, you can walk away with around 200 bucks in an hour just through application fees giving out applications. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. Like rentals, if you do it right, there's money to be made all around. Like my house that I got here, guys, I have a 2 bedrooms upstairs, and then I've got a very big open concept living room, which walks out to a full deck and patio. And then the downstairs has got 2 bedrooms and its own bathroom. I had the downstairs in this house rented out for $650 a month. Actually, $750 a month. I'm sorry, $750 a month. My mortgage is only $975. So where do you think all my phone flipping money goes, and course money, etc., and then the real estate money? The real estate money is pretty much paying for itself, and then all the extra money I get, I save it, and then I just try and buy more properties. So rentals are kind of like self-sufficient. If your mortgage is 800-900 bucks a month, but you've got a renter in there for 1,000 a month, I mean, you really don't have any bills. So it's kind of awesome. But just a little background on it. Anthony says just bought a $900 gaming PC for $320. Nice. Where's it at, Trenthony? Let's see it. I just unmuted you. Put your camera on. Let's see this gaming PC. That puts you on the spot. Pratsua says, I thought single family ties up cash. Let's see. Hey, Trey. Yeah, we can hear you. Ooh. You got $20?
Yep. Just picked up. I got the keyboard. I got a Logitech keyboard. I got a Razer mouse right here.
That's nice. Testing it out then. Is that a CyberPower PC?
CyberPower. It's got the RX 580 graphics card. It's got the Ryzen CPU.
Nice.
This thing completely, man.
That's awesome. Good score, man.
Yeah.
I like gaming PCs. I've noticed you're kind of into gaming. That's personally, I used to be a big gamer. I used to play a lot of online MMOs and when I was younger. But personally, for all my professional stuff, that's all I run is high-end gaming computers. Like, I'll never have a slow computer, even if I'm just posting Craigslist ads. Got to have fast processor speed and RAM, man.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I built my own PC too, so.
Nice. That's cool. So you're into that then also. That's cool, man.
Yep.
By the way, like, if everybody here, if you guys want to unmute yourself, like, I don't really have anybody. I've kind of been trying to do the group chats differently. I want them to kind of be open chats and for us just to talk about, like, entrepreneur type stuff, even if it's not completely phone flipping related, because, you know, I've talked so much about phone flipping and I drop a video a day for you guys. So, I mean, it's like there's a lot of info out there. So if we want to talk about other stuff, real estate, we can definitely talk about these in these chats because I want to keep doing them. And, you know, I want people to contribute when we're on here. So don't be shy to talk. You guys are all welcome to talk and ask questions or to talk about things in general. Welcome, Keegan. So Pratsua says, I thought single-family homes tie up cash. Apartment complexes with 10 to 20 units, Grant Cardone recommends 16 minimum, he says. Nathan says, nice. Pratsua says, yep, the way I view it is that all the expenses and hassle isn't worth the $400 to $500 a month cash flow and putting down a $25,000 down payment. How much will you sell it for? Nathan says, I have a question actually about starting a Facebook group. Yeah, sure, Nathan. I'll unmute you. Well, I'll answer your question first, then I'll go back to what Pratsua is saying as far as real estate. What's up, Nathan?
Hey, Luke. It's good to hear from you again. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing good. So I took your advice, and I was watching those videos that you recommended, especially on creating your own Facebook group. By the way, I got to say, man, that was some cutting-edge material you had there. I was really impressed.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Which brings me to my question. Is there certain like people you won't allow into your own Facebook groups and like competition or is there certain people you weed out? I mean, like, how do you specifically manage that?
So one thing that I do, like you're talking about the local Facebook group.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do is the 3 questions that you ask. Like, you'll notice that Facebook will give you the option when you guys start a Facebook group to ask 3 kind of like qualifying questions. The first question that I ask is, I'm from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So the first question I ask is, do you live in Eau Claire? And if not, are you willing to drive there? So I don't want anybody in my group that doesn't live in Eau Claire. And if they don't live in Eau Claire, they need to be willing to drive to the Eau Claire area. If not, I don't want you in my group because you're just going to be taking up valuable space and your posts aren't going to do anything because nobody's going to drive, an hour away. But if they're willing to and they say, yeah, I'm willing to meet or willing to drive, okay, sure, I'll invite them to the group. And then the second question is, I usually just ask them if, they're a robot and, whether they say yes or no. Obviously, most people say no. And yeah, that's kind of the best way to just weed people out, just to throw in like a couple basic questions. The best thing to do is, as far as weeding people out, sometimes people will block you, like bots or like people from overseas that are just spammers and scammers. They'll actually block you and then try and join the group. Their names will show up like in a vibrant black color. And when you click on them, obviously you can't click on them or do nothing. I always block all those people from my group. And then on top of that, if you see people that are like, yeah, competition, flippers, yeah, there's no reason to have them in your group. So.
Okay. So you definitely don't let competition into the groups at all?
Nah, no reason to.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But that pretty much actually helps. Any tips on how to grow it as quickly as possible? I know you mentioned some in the videos, but.
Post as many times as you can a day.
Mm-hmm. Now, does it matter if it's like for sale items, or can you like do like local events that are going on, or?
It can be anything, really. Basically, to grow a Facebook group, to get it to show up the most relevant in the local search results or the Facebook search results, it all goes by how many posts there are in a day. That's what's going to show up.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, because I've been trying to like post ads in Facebook groups here, and it's been kind of lackluster. So I definitely want to, start some of my own groups and, see how it goes from there. So I'll keep you posted, though. Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, you bet, Nathan. Just let me know if you got anything else ever this year. So
absolutely. Thanks again, Luke.
Yeah, you bet. Going back to real estate. So Patsua thinks that the $400 to $500 a month cash flow I'm putting down $25,000 down payment isn't worth it. Okay, so first off, if you can get into a property, any property, and rent it out, and basically the rent pays for the mortgage, it's absolutely worth it. Because if you jump into a rental, and let's just say you put $20,000 down, and let's say your mortgage is $900 and you rent it out for $1,000 a month with no utilities. So first off, you got $100 cash flow a month, and you only put $20,000 down. So first off, over the first year, you're going to make $1,200. Over the next 10 years, you could make close to $12,000. Of course, you might have repairs, stuff like that, but you're going to cash flow. And also over the next 10 years, the renters that are in your property are literally building you equity. So it's not always all about the cash flow of a real estate property, but it's also about that the renter is literally paying your mortgage off and you're not paying any money into the mortgage. Now, the other thing is, once you acquire a property, in my opinion, the best thing to do is to acquire properties as fast as you can. Just because of the fact that if you get into a house, say in 2019, and then there's another guy that gets into a house in 2030, you're going to have so much equity build up by the time 10 years goes by. The average house appraises at 3.5% to 10%. So, I mean, that's a lot each year, especially when you're talking about a house that's $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. If you have a $300,000 house and the value of it goes up by 3% each year, that's $9,000 a year you're making just by owning that house. Then if you have somebody in it, or this apartment complex, if you have it completely rented, it's paying for itself. You're building equity each year, plus you have a small cash flow, plus they're paying off your loan, so you're getting more investment back from that also. Grant Cardone is definitely right when he says that apartment complexes are the way to go. The problem is, there's not a lot of apartment complexes left, at least not smaller ones. Everybody buys them up. And not to mention, you think $25,000 isn't worth it. Try getting into an apartment complex where you need $500,000 down. Example, my uncle, who's probably going to be building a real estate investment and real estate rentals course with me, that's what he wants to do when he retires. My uncle's a multimillionaire. He's been a millionaire since 1989, and he owns over 350 rental units. Right now, he has an apartment complex up that has 84 units in it. He rents these units out for $750 a month. So $750 times 84 is $63,000 a month. Think about how crazy that is. Now, he wants $4.5 million for it, which I think is a fair price based on the monthly money that comes in. But at $4.5 million, 20% down of $4.5 million is $900,000. Not everybody has $900,000 down to go and buy an apartment complex. Not to mention, when you're talking an apartment complex that's that big, you're going to want more than probably the minimum amount down just to save your butt in case something goes wrong. So that being said, it really just kind of depends on where you're at. Like me personally, the next goal for me is I got one more house that I want to buy because I own pretty much the whole block that I live on. I own this house, I own the one next to it, and then there's one more on the block that's for sale, and I want to buy that. And the big reason being is they're all commercial properties. So if I can secure all three, someday I might be able to sell them to a corporation for a pretty penny. Pretsua says, I just feel apartment complexes are more scalable. I feel houses are better to flip. I think apartments only have 100 to 250 month cash flow unit. Pretsua, just an example, like I said, it really all depends on where you're coming from. My house right now that I have in the other town, the mortgage payment on it is $375. I have it rented for $1,030 a month. So my cash flow on that house after remodeling it, basically my cash flow is $655 a month. Now the reason why I like houses also is because, like I said, they appreciate each year. And then on top of that, when I get that house paid off, that's going to be basically probably $1,100 a month cash flow by the time, it's paid off and rent goes up a little bit. So $1,100 a month cash flow, that's basically, you know, what are we looking at a year? We're looking at $13,200 a year. Now, my actual goal, just kind of putting this out there for everybody, and I think this is an easily obtainable goal for everybody, is to obtain 20 properties and have all 20 properties paid for and have them rent for around $1,000 to $1,100 a month. So if I can do that and I have 20 of them, basically that gives me an income of around $264,000 a year net. Not much overhead, not much expenses. That's a pretty good income. And that's kind of what I would like to get to. That's what I would like for residual income each year. I think that's a really good amount of income. And I mean, rental properties are really easy to manage. So it's a good goal, and I think it's easily obtainable. Of course, if I get bigger and I want to buy an apartment complex, that's something you can do too. But basically, my opinion is try and get a house. If you guys got extra money around in phone flipping, if you guys are trying to get into direct buying, that's awesome. But once you're kind of like at the end game of phone flipping, try sticking your money into real estate. Try finding a rental that you can invest your money and get some kind of cash flow back on. So that's kind of my opinion on everything. I mean, I'm living it and doing it. So I guess, you know, it's my personal opinion since I have actually done it myself. So, but that being said, how is everybody's week going as far as phone flipping? What's everybody think? Anybody having any problems? Anybody get any really good scores? Anybody have any questions on any new stuff or any new problems that's been going on? I know RSIM has kind of been a problem for everybody, and I really think RSIM will get fixed. It's just a matter of time. It's just kind of a, you know, management of time. That's all it is. So you just got to hold out. You just got to be careful, guys, and you got to just hold on and hope that RSIMs come back up, because then locked phones are going to start to be worth money again. So just be careful of that out there. I know it's been kind of a big suffer for everybody. Hey, Nathan, yeah, RSIM basically RSIM, yeah, pretty much made all the prices go down because now Apple iPhones can't be unlocked overseas, so kind of sucks. But like I said, like I've told everybody, there's a very large demand for unlocked phones. So I personally think that the RSIM will either get patched or somebody will come out with a new one. Keegan says, question about contracting someone to post ads. Do you have any recommendations? Had a guy on Fiverr quote me $2 per live ad on Craigslist. If you could talk about your experience with it and what price to pay someone, that would be great. Honestly, in this day and age, Craigslist posting, there's a lot of people out there that flip phones now. So I think a lot of the posters are kind of coming into, you know, terms that basically they know that, you know, posting Craigslist ads is worth decent money because they know that we make decent money off the phone flipping ads. That being said, I personally think, Keegan, I think $2 per live ad is a little high, in my opinion. I'm not sure what kind of service he's all offering you or what he's said, but I personally think $2 is a little bit high. As far as my recommendations, I recommend just going out there and trying a few different people, like start small. I would try paying for like 4 or 5 ads through somebody and just see how it goes. And if they do well, keep using them and then scale up. If you start to get business, keep using them because everybody's a little bit different. I've had to switch through multiple Craigslist people just because sometimes they do it for a while and then they're gone. So you kind of just got to go out there and experience it. Now, example, like I'm looking at somebody right now, I might as well, I'll just share my screen with all of you since I'm on Fiverr here. Let's just share my screen. We'll talk about Craigslist automated posting a little bit. Let's see. So example, like right here, we're on Fiverr.com, and this guy, $10, 15 ads, non-paid ads only. He's going to post 15 ads. I mean, that's pretty good. His premium ads, $30 for 45. What is that? So 45. Just going to do this on a calculator quick. So this guy's posting your ads. If you buy the premium, he's doing your ads for $1.50. So that's not bad. So basically, for 1 week, he'll post $30 worth of ads. He's going to post 45 ads, and he's going to do it in 7 days. So what I would do, personally, if you really wanted to ramp up your Craigslist reach, honestly, I think what I would do is I would hire multiple people. So I wouldn't just use one guy. So this guy's charging 30 for 45 ads. I give him a shot. I mean, it's only $30. That's not nothing. And then this guy right here, let's see what he's got. So this guy, same thing. He's got 29 reviews, 4.9 stars. He's only got a $10 order, but this guy's 5 ads in any free section. So this guy's charging $2 an ad, but you know what? It's only $10. Hire him to do your ads also. And then I would go over here and I would just kind of look. This guy's ads look pretty legit, honestly. This guy looks like he actually makes his own ads too, so that's kind of cool. I would probably grab this guy and just have him post your ads right here. So he wants to do one Craigslist ad. Okay, so this guy is actually charging $5 per ad, but as you see, he also says that he'll design your ad for you. Now, honestly, looking at this, obviously this isn't our industry, but this is a pretty well done ad. I really like this. It's pretty exceptional work. Pretty good Photoshop work here. I'm not sure if this is the actual guy that owns the company, but pretty decent stuff. This guy must be the owner of his company right here. This is a really well done ad. My brother does similar stuff to this, and this is a really nice ad, honestly. Whoever made this ad, which obviously it's this guy, he did a really good job, and he's only charging $5. Plus, he's going to post the ad for you too. So it's pretty interesting. Let's see what everybody's saying in chat. Pratsua says, if someone is lazy to post ads, it's still better than nothing. 60 to 70 ads a week for 120 to 140 a week will still force someone to go out, close deals, and buy stuff. I am looking for 70 to 80 a week. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think if you guys aren't posting a ton of Craigslist ads for yourself right now, I definitely think it's important to start paying somebody to post your ads. Like this one says, I will post banner ads in 50 major cities in USA in 24 hours. This guy looks like he's using Backpage. I'm not really sure how I feel about Backpage because for those of you guys that don't know, Backpage was really popular for allowing prostitutes to advertise on their website. And so Backpage basically got shut down nationwide. And then Craigslist removed the personal section also due to that fact. So wouldn't recommend hiring anybody to put your paid ads on Backpages. I don't really think there's a big market there. So, but yeah, I would just kind of go through Fiverr. Like I said, just kind of look through there and you kind of got to experiment, you know? So you'll find people on there that are fast. You'll find people that are cheap. You'll find people that are both fast and cheap. So Nathan says Backpage is still shut down. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. John says, what's the website? Sorry, I got kicked out. Hey, John, we're just talking about Fiverr right now. We're just talking about having people post basically paid Craigslist ads. If you look at this guy right here, this guy's actually pretty sweet. Looks like he has designed cash for phone ads. He's a level 2 seller. He's got 1,000 reviews, and looks like he will design, basically he'll design your ads. So that's pretty sweet. I mean, this guy looks like he knows what he's doing as far as designing stuff. It says he'll design eye-catching Craigslist ads. So doesn't look like this guy posts them. Looks like he just designs them, but these are pretty nice looking ads. So kind of interesting. But that being said, looks like there's another one. Looks like a couple phone flippers must have been using this guy. So looks like he does pretty nice ads. But yeah, basically the best thing to do is if you don't have a ton of posting skills, you know, or you want to get out there and start, you know, accumulating phones on Craigslist, I honestly recommend just going to Fiverr.com. I think it's one of the best things that you can do. It's, you know, it's a free website and it doesn't cost anything to go out there and look. So you just kind of got to go out there and check it out for yourself. That's the best thing you can do. So, hey Trey, yeah, some people on Fiverr will post ads for you. Keegan says contacting several people at once is a great idea. I'll try it out. Thanks. Yeah, you bet, Keegan. Pratsua says, are you moving to Arizona? Hey, Pratsua, yes, I am. Just have to get a couple things wrapped up here in Wisconsin. So I've got a couple ideas on what I want to do here. So John says I need advice. I'm going to unmute you, John. What's up?
All right, so I'm about to move to can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I'm about to move to Los Angeles probably in a month or so.
Okay.
What do you think about opening up a phone store there? Because my town is like, it's smaller, but it's like it's coming up, and I think there's only one phone store there.
This town in Los Angeles you're thinking I'm moving to?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a good idea. The only thing I'd be careful about is I don't know how fast you're trying to open up the store, but I think you should go there and test the market first before you actually try and open up a store. Just because the fact that it's kind of, well, if you go there and you just start up a store right away, I mean, LA, I'm assuming, has probably quite a bit of overhead, so you got to be careful.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I think it sounds like a great area, but I'm saying I would definitely give it a test before, you actually open a store, sign a lease or a contract, just make sure that the store can self-support itself. Other than that, yeah, I don't think it's, a bad thing at all.
I just think it'll be more like formal for people to sell their phones to instead of just meeting, at a McDonald's or something. I feel like people having a store is way easier for people just to come in and sell
Oh,
their
yeah,
phone.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think it's very, it's definitely a very good idea. Just because of the fact, in my opinion, having a brick and mortar store, it has more overhead, but at the same time, you get a lot more walk-by traffic, you get a lot more on-foot traffic, drive-bys, etc. I mean, it's more professional too, honestly, to have a store. Like, we try and be as professional as possible, meeting up with people, but when you actually have a store, people are also going to remember you the next time they get a phone. They're just going to come to your store and just walk in if you're open, They don't need to call you or anything. So it's kind of convenient for the customer.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I think repeat business would be way better there too.
absolutely. Yeah, basically you just need to just go there, get as many phones as you can before you actually open the storefront, do some research on the market, and then I would say, yeah, open it up.
That's what I'm gonna do.
So, but yeah, all right, man. Well, I hope that kind of answers everybody's questions tonight. We're coming up on 30 minutes, so Trey says I say no to having a store. It feels like a 9 to 5. I like to be mobile. That makes sense. I mean, it is it is, I'm not going to lie, it's very nice to have the freedom to be able to meet people. Now, what I would personally do if I was going to open a store, and I've thought about it many times because my house that I actually have right now with my office in it, this is a commercial building, and I'm on a very busy street corner. And any time, really, if I wanted to, I could convert my upstairs to office space, and I could start a phone store. And then my thought is scale the phone store up so that people are buying and selling phones to me, and then I'm also doing repairs. And then what I would do is I would hire employees and expand my infrastructure, and then I would leave that commercial location for employees to run, and then I would go buy another house that I would live in, and then I would post ads under a different name, and I would start recruiting phones mobily. But of course, I'm just competing against myself, so either my store is going to get the business or I'm going to get the business. That's what I would do. And then from there, I guess if I bought another commercial location, I would just start another phone store, but I would name it something else and start its own LLC. So that way, if somebody goes to, example, like a couple different names that I've had, if somebody goes to Phone Stop and they're like, oh, Phone Stop, I don't really like those guys, their prices kind of suck. And then they come over to my other store, which is called Mr. Buybacks, they don't even need to know that the same owner owns them. So what is really genius about this is because sometimes people form opinions about brands that are just because they don't like the logo, or maybe they just don't like the vibe when they walk in the store. It sounds crazy, but the reason why I know this is true is because there's a lot of restaurant chains out there that, believe it or not, like locally here, we have a restaurant called Milwaukee Burger, and then we have another restaurant called Grizzlies. Now, what's hilarious is there's a lot of people out there that love Milwaukee Burger. They're really famous for good cheese curds, good fresh burgers, and just kind of like really good sports bar pub food. And there's a lot of people out there that say, I don't like Milwaukee Burger, but they like Grizzlies. Now, Grizzlies has the same exact cheese curds that Milwaukee Burger does, has some of the same burgers, same kind of style of food, but it's a little more, I guess, dressed up, like a little more sit-downy. Here's the fun factor. Grizzlies owns Milwaukee Burger. They're the same exact owner. Nobody even knows that. Because when I've told people this, like I've even had friends that have said, oh, I don't like Milwaukee Burger, I like Grizzlies. I'm like, they're owned by the same person, right? And they're like, what? No way. People sometimes form opinions, or they'll hear something bad about something and then they'll never go there. So somebody hears something bad about Phone Stop, but then they hear, oh yeah, Mr. Buybacks, dude, that guy pays the top prices. Then that guy never goes to Phone Stop, but he goes to Mr. Buybacks. And since I own them both behind the scenes, I get all the business. and then I just keep doing the mobile pickups. So just kind of talking, I guess, here, guys, and just kind of giving you ideas. That's what I would do. So, but anyways, we're coming up on like 34 minutes. I hope that answers everybody's questions. If you guys got any more questions about this, or as far as storefronts or anything, drop a chat in the group and tag me. We can definitely have a thread on this. I think the whole phone store debate would be kind of cool. So anyways, Pat Stewart says I will sue for reviews. Yeah, this is kind of a good group chat. I'm glad we kind of talked a little bit about everything here. So I really appreciate everybody showing up. It always helps when more people show up. There's more questions, because it's really hard to just sit here and talk about new topic after new topic, especially when I'm dropping a video a day. So that being said, I hope you guys all had a happy Easter and have a great rest of your weekend. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your week. And I hope everybody has a really successful week too. So thanks for being in the group, and I'll see you guys next week, Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Nathan, by the way, you can send me that message and I'll get back to you. So we'll see you guys.